So please excuse me, I am going through strep throat right now. But the number one reason that a lot of dogs are put into shelters according to the ASPCA is because they're surrendered because owners don't properly train them and really can't handle them. They get a little bit overwhelmed and they get really anxious, but it's not the dog's fault if they misbehave because they were never properly trained. Today, I'm here to teach you about some basic commands that you can teach your dog. You should listen to me because I am a professional dog trainer. I also worked for Petco as a dog trainer. I've had over 15 different types of dogs in my lifetime, from Mastiffs, Pit Bulls, to Maltese Poodles and Schnauzers. This is going to benefit you because it can help strengthen the bond between you and your dog by working with your dog and teaching them these commands, as well as lessening the chance of them being ever having to be surrendered into a shelter or a rescue. So my speech is based around three points. The first point is going to be sit or watch me's, name game, and sits. The third second central idea is going to be the downs, the leave its, and the stays. And then the third central idea is going to be the leave its expanded, loose leash walking, and we're going to teach paw. So this is Mufasa. He is one of the dogs I am currently training. He's a service dog in training. He's going to be able to soon hopefully detect anxiety attacks in people and be an emotional support and service dog at the same time. So today, I'm going to call him, and the way the name game is going to work, I'm going to call him. When he looks at me, I'm going to say, "Good Mufasa, good boy," really repeating his name, making sure that he knows that I'm talking to him. So I'm going to say, "Mufasa, good boy." He already really knows his name, so this is going to be really simple for him. But the basic part is really repeating the name over and over so he knows that you're talking to him. The second thing we're going to do is the watch me's. The watch me's are beneficial because they will get your dog's sense of direction off of something else and back onto you. So it's going to say if there's a squirrel or another dog, something along those lines, you're going to say, "Mufasa, watch me." Bring the treat up to your face like this, and you're going to give him, "Good, watch me, good boy." Tell him what it is that he did correctly. So good, watch me, good boy, always giving love and giving praise. The next thing we're going to learn is the sit. So for the sit, you're going to get the treat, and you're going to basically get it and put it around the nose, and you're going to bring it back so the dog naturally falls into a sit position. So let's get him back over here. Sit. Good boy. Good sit. Good boy. Always giving that love and praise and really reiterating what it is that he did correctly. Now that I've talked about my first central idea, come on, sit. Sit. We're going to move on to my second central idea, which is going to be the downs, the stays, and the leave its. So all these things that I'm going to talk about, especially the leave its, are going to be beneficial. According to Nylabone, which is a top branded dog bone making company, teaching these commands will also help strengthen the bond between you and your animal, and it's going to put you as the alpha in charge of your animal as well. So come on, sit, come on, down, good boy. With the down, you're going to want to get the treat, put it around their nose, and bring it all the way down to the floor. Now that we've done the downs, let's move on to the leave its. Sit. You're going to get treats in two hands. One's going to be your temptation hand, one's going to be your treat hand. One, you're going to put it in front of him, say, "Leave it." Leave it. Once he doesn't go for it, you're going to treat him with the other hand. This is because if you're telling him to leave something, you don't want to say, "Okay," and he goes for the thing you're telling him to leave. You want to treat him with something else. Now let's move on to the stays. So I'm going to put him in a down. Stay. Stay. And you're going to take a couple steps back. Wait about 3 seconds, letting your dog really get that temptation into him wanting to move. Stay. And then release him. Okay, good, stay. Good boy, good stay. Now that I've talked about my second central idea, we're going to move on to my third central idea, which is the sit, which is going to be the leave its expanded, the loose leash walking, and we're going to learn paw. So the leave its expanded is basically kind of what I told you right now with the treats in two hands, but instead of putting them in one hand, you're going to put it onto the floor, the treats. So leave it. You're going to say in a kind of stern voice, kind of use your mom voice, really get that alpha into you. Leave it. Put it on the floor. If you leave, come on, sit. Leave it. Leave it. Good boy, good, leave it. And remember, don't let him get the thing you're telling him to leave, because say that was a pill. You're going to tell him to leave it, and you're going to say, okay, he's going to think it's okay to go for the pill. That's why you treat him with something else, because that pill could potentially be life-threatening to him. Okay, now let's move on to the loose leash walking. For this, I'm going to get the leash and put it in both hands. One's going to be tightly up by his harness. The other one's going to be in my other hand. And you're going to want to walk And you're going to want to walk and keep him next to you. Never letting him get in front of you, because that does make the dog the alpha in the relationship and the less dominant one. And you're going to want to practice this and practice this. It's going to tire both you and the dog out, but it's going to be beneficial in that eventually you'll be able to leave the leash loose and walk with him right next to you without him going in front of you. That's it. Good boy. Now that we've talked about the loose leash walking, my last topic is the paw. So the way you teach the paw is you're going to get a treat and you're going to rub it around the dog's nose really until he gets bugged and wants to swat at you with that paw. Once he does, you want to grab that paw with the other hand, paw, good boy, and shake it and say, good paw, good boy. And you're going to want to practice that over and over again until he wants to swat at you and give him his paw, and then you're going to say, good paw, good boy, really repeating what it is that he did correctly. So today I talked to you about the 3 central ideas that I have and the basic commands that you can teach your dog at home. One of the main reasons many dogs are surrendered into shelters and rescues, according to the ASPCA, which is one of the oldest civil rights or animal rights groups that was around since the Second Civil War, that one of the main reasons dogs are surrendered into shelters and rescues is because lack of training. So I'm here to hopefully strengthen that bond between you and your animal, as well as lessen the likelihood of them ever being put into a shelter. My speech was centered around 3 main ideas, which the first one was the name, games, watch me's, and sits. The second was the downs, leave-its, and stays. The third was the loose leash walking, leave-its expanded, and the paw. So I hope that's helped you. Thank you.